What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here. In today's video, my goodness, we're going to have some fun. Wormadam Trash, Shadow Tyaranitar, and Incineroar. Now, this team can easily be taken down, like one Scrafty in the back and it's over, but that's not the point. The point is having fun, and my goodness, this team was a lot of fun to use. All right, getting into game one, we have Alolan Raticate here on the lead. So whenever I see a Dark-type Pokemon, I always think there's probably a poison in the back, so let's draw it out. Plus, Double Kick on Incineroar. It's a new fast move on it. It got it at the beginning of this season, and Double Kick gains a lot of energy and has really nice coverage. So we're going to go ahead and go for Dark Pulse here against Azumarill. Obviously, we are hard locked down right here, and they're probably just going to farm us down, which is fine. But we should be able to get to 2, which we definitely do right here, and they're not throwing a charge move, so my guess is they're going to try to commit to the full farm down and probably go for Hydro Pump against the Wormadam. So we do get to 3 Dark Pulses, which is huge right here on Incineroar, because this is going to be getting the Azumarill extremely low where we can Confusion down. Now, I'm fully expecting a Hydro Pump right here. We're going to go ahead and let it go, but thankfully it was just an Ice Beam. So they probably have Ice Beam Play Rough and they want to try to get to 2 charge moves, so they're going to go ahead and go for back-to-back Ice Beams, which is fine. I'm actually completely okay with this because we drew out Azumarill. Now, we'll have to see if they are weak in the back to Tyaranitar, and when teams don't have an answer to Shadow Tyaranitar, or that answer was Azumarill, for example, oh, it's a lot of fun. We do get the shield right there with Bug Buzz, so we're going to swap it in the Tyaranitar, and they're going to go ahead and throw the charge move. Now, we are going to be resisting it right here if this is Return, Hyper Fang, Crunch, but we need to shield. Tyaranitar is like a glass cannon, so we need to shield all the charge moves. They're not swapping out. This tells me they are extremely weak in the back, so we're going to go ahead and double shield the Tyaranitar and look to sweep right here. If you guys haven't used Shadow Tyaranitar yet, it's an absolute monster in this cup. And they had a Mandibuzz in the back, so they decided to surrender. Good game. Right, moving into the next one, we have Ariados on the lead. So a really positive lead for us. All 3 of our Pokemon can do well. So they decide to swap into Sableye. So we're going to go ahead and come in with the Tyaranitar right here. So Sableye can put a lot of pressure with charge moves. Again, we are a glass cannon, so even the resisted charge moves can potentially threaten. So we're just going to go ahead and commit the shields right here to farm down. So we do get a shield right there with Crunch, which is nice. So we're going to go ahead and I'm actually going to no shield. I decided to change my mind. I know I just said, right, we can shield and fully farm down. We got to be careful about foul plays. But what did I say at the very beginning? Our whole team has an answer to Ariados, Incineroar, and Wormadam. So I'm okay. We're actually going to come in with Incineroar and see what it can do. The whole point of this is to have fun with Incineroar and Tyaranitar. So this is now going to be Incineroar's game. We're going to give up shields here because obviously I'm concerned about return. And even foul play, even though it is resisted. Incineroar is a glass cannon. Both Tyaranitar and Incineroar are not the tankiest Pokemon out there. So we're just going to go ahead and double shield, fully farm down with double kick, and we are loaded on energy. Please take at least neutral damage. Whatever decides to come in, it's going to be a Araquanid that decides to come in. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Flame Charge now for neutral damage to boost our attack. And then we're going to go for Dark Pulse right here because I'm hoping they decide to let it go through, seeing as we just threw a Flame Charge, because now this is gonna hurt. Dark Pulse, however, gets shielded, which is really unfortunate for me, and we don't get to the next one in time. So this is probably just going to be a Bubble Beam. But the game's won either way. I think we do survive right there, which is nice. This allows us now to get to the Dark Pulse, which is still going to do a decent amount. Not as much because the Bubble Beam now debuffed us. But swapping now into Wormadam, this is going to be a good game. There's not enough damage on the other side to take us down. So it's just a matter of time, as the Bubble Beam right here is not going to do too much damage. We're just going to go ahead and basically Confusion down, but they swap in the Ariados, so we're going to go ahead and go for Iron Head right here. Now, Ariados as well, all the charge moves are resisted here on Wormadam, which is really nice, so Confusion as well is going to be chunking. But like I said, these games are about having fun. That's what the showcase is today, a spicy, fun team. And Incineroar was actually surprising me because I put up Shadow Tyaranitar. I was on PvPoke Team Builder. I put up Shadow Tyaranitar, and Wormadam Trash is a really nice pairing with it. Yes, it can be core broken by stuff like Escavalier or Scrafty, But then I saw that Incineroar also pairs well, and Incineroar has double kick, which I completely forgot about. And that double kick is really nice against the dark and steel type Pokemon. You have flame charge. So good game right there to my opponent. All right, we got Toxapex here on the lead. They decide to swap out into Mawile, so we're going to go ahead and bring in Incineroar. Now, Mawile can put in a lot of damage with Play Rough, so we got to be careful right here. We're going to go ahead and shield, and then we're just going to go straight Flame Charge because it's going to boost our attack and do super effective damage. So Incineroar, once again, let's see what it's capable of. We do get a shield right there from him. Double kick is really starting to add up, and we're going to go ahead and overload on energy and just shield again. I'm double shielding Incineroar right here. I think I should be able to get to 2 more flame charges before they get to 1 more Play Rough, but I'm going to go ahead and throw the flame charge now. I should have loaded a bit more energy. That's a mistake on my end, but I was really concerned about making sure I take out that Mawile and maintain switch advantage, so I just wanted to get it out of the way. Now, Dark Pulse here. We're boosted. Neutral damage again. Toxapex, 50% of its HP right there. That's not too bad, all things considering. That is actually really nice because Toxapex is extremely tanky. It's like a Bastiodon. So imagine doing 50% HP with neutral damage to a Bastiodon. That's pretty cool. And the final Pokemon is Shadow Alolan Marowak. So Shadow Tyaranitar right here is going to gobble it up. Nom 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 nom. But the Alolan Marowak survives. And I'm like, this is Fire Blast, isn't it? It's Fire Blast. Oh no! Boom! Tyaranitar goes down. The opponent booms. You know, it feels so good to be boomed by a Fire Blast Alolan Marowak. So salute to my opponent right there. Thank you for Fire Blasting me. I love to see it. I hope the GOAT did well for you in your sets. All right, now we got Sableye on the lead, and we do see an Obstagoon swap in. So we're going to go ahead and go for Flame Charge right now here. Now, this is such a tough situation. We are doing double super effective, but double kick isn't as much damage as counter. So they're actually going to be able to outpace us. And we did shield a Night Slash right there as well, which honestly it didn't matter because it feels cross chop anyways. So this is a really tough situation. I actually don't think we would win Switch if we decided to shield. So I have to let this go. Unfortunately, I have to do it. So now I need to trust that the Tyaranitar can sweep. My hope is, considering that we see a Sableye and an Obstagoon, they clearly are going to have something to cover fairies, basically, fairies and fighters. So it's going to be a poison in the back, or maybe a Wormadam Trash. And if it's a Golbat, we're looking really good. If it's Nidoqueen, things are going to be tough. If it's Wormadam Trash, it's going to be interesting as well. So we're just going to commit to the full farm down right there. The Sableye is going to come back in, so we're going to go ahead and go for Bug Buzz to do a massive amount of neutral damage. And then we have to go into Tyaranitar right here. This is our last hope. And Smackdown, it's a Nidoqueen. So this is such a tough situation because Nidoqueen can one-shot us right here, right? Earth Power is going to one-shot. The only way we win this endgame matchup right here, basically, is if we shield the Earth Power. We got it. Okay, so now things are going to be getting very, very close. It's going to be a race to the next charge move. They decided not to go for Poison Fang. It would have already been thrown. And we get to the crunch in time. Shadow Tyaranitar, you are an absolute monster. Let's see if we can take out the Sableye now. 1, 2, no! They got the foul play in time. So close. I mean, I saw it coming. We see Sableye, we see Obstagoon. You know there's a poison in the back, but my hope, good game to my opponent, my hope it was Golbat, but it was not. All right, this time we got Nidoqueen on the lead, so a very positive lead for us because of the confusion damage. It just really, really starts to add up, and we will see them now decide to swap into Umbreon. So we're going to go ahead and go for Bug Buzz right here to do quite a bit of super effective damage, and then we're going to come in with Tyaranitar to Smackdown, because my fear is probably what you guys might have seen a lot, is Poison Double Dark, which is a classic Nidoqueen, Scrafty, and Umbreon. It's a very classic team, and I've seen it a lot, and that's my worry right here, because remember what I said at the beginning, like, one Scrafty in the back and it's over. So my fear is that that is actually what is in the back, so we got to use Tyaranitar to take down the Umbreon, because Incineroar would have a better opportunity against the Scrafty if it is back there. So we're going to go for the Crunch now, and it does get a shield against the Nidoqueen, and we actually might be able to get to a second one. This is actually huge for us. Considering they went to try to farm us down instead of going for a charge move, we can now get 2 shields. That's incredible for us, especially if there is that Scrafty in the back, because Incineroar with double kick and flame charge could potentially sweep then. So we let this first charge move go through. It is the earth power, so unfortunately that does a lot of damage, and we are going to go ahead and shield this next one. I messed. This is Poison Fang. So that's just a mess up on me. I could have gotten away with no shielding that, but we farmed down. I'm like, okay, what's the final Pokemon? Oh, it's actually Golbat. So we're going to go ahead and go for Iron Head right here. So not the Scrafty that I was fearing, but in this situation, I think we might have been able to pull it off if it was the Scrafty. But we should be able to just close this game out with 1 Dark Pulse. So that is going to be a good battle, very well played, as Incineroar can get to the Dark Pulse pretty quickly right here, and it just does a good amount of damage. It's honestly, I mean, you guys saw what it did against the Toxapex with the boost. You guys saw that it almost took out a Azumarill, right? We got 3 of them, even though it is resisted. And Azumarill is extremely tanky, so that was the final battle. So, super fun team. Wormadam, Shadow Tyrannitar, and Incineroar. And Incineroar with double kick. It's just so nice. You got such versatile coverage right there with this meta. So I imagine there's probably going to be other really good teams that you could use it with. This was just something I just whipped up and thought would be super fun, and it was. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.